Welcome to this video on the Profile Pane in Tableau Prep. You can download the dataset and packaged flow files underneath the video to follow along in your own copy of Tableau Prep. We're working with data for best-selling books. When we're on a cleaning step, indicated in the flow by a bar icon, the pane below the flow is the Profile Pane. For more information on cleaning data, check out the video on the cleaning step. The Profile Pane helps us explore our data and understand its contents. It's a powerful way of interacting with our data. For discrete data, each gray bar we see represents a value in the field itself. The length of the bar represents the number of records with that value, and the visual scroll bar provides an overview of the distribution of the data. For example, we can see that most titles show up only once in the data, but Ready Player One appears twice. Similarly, most authors appear once, but we can sort and bring the authors with the most records to the top. If we click on a bar such as this author with the most records, it's highlighted in blue. Across all the other cards, the values associated with this author are also highlighted. Using the visual scroll bar in the title column, we can find the titles of her other books. We can see that her books are in the $10 to $20 range. Their various ranks, and all occur in the early and middle list. Similarly, if we click on the nulls for the Weeks on List field, we see null values here correspond to nulls in the previous rank field and the entirety of the early and middle and young adult lists. It appears those bestseller lists don't provide this information. The highlighting makes it easy to examine the structure of our data and see how the distributions and values of various fields are related. Discrete data shows us gray bars with each value in the field represented. Continuous data shows us blue bars in a histogram, representing ranges of the data. Let's look at the prices field. We can see the most common prices are $10 to $20, with 53 rows of data in this bar, and only one row in the $50 to $60 range. If we want to see the actual prices themselves, we can open the menu and change the view state from summary, that is, histogram, to detail, showing each value. Now we get a visual scroll bar on the side that shows the more detailed distribution, and we can see three peaks: cheaper books, the slightly pricier range of likely trade paperbacks, and a longer tail with peaks in the upper 20s. Going back to the summary view, if we multi-select the hardcover lists, we can see that sure enough, those higher prices are for hardcovers. The default view for continuous data is the binned summary view. This is very useful for outlier detection. For example, in the Weeks on List field, it's easy to visually determine that there are several records that have been on the bestseller list far longer than the others. We could dig in to see if these are errors of data recording or if they're just abnormally popular books. If we were in the detail view, it would be much harder to see the gap between the rest of the records and those values. Let's click into a more complex flow. This time, we're looking at all 4 weeks' worth of data for February. We can see there are a lot of nulls for ISBN, author, and title. This is unexpected. If we click on one of these null bars, we see they're from one specific week. Let's go back to that input. If we click on the plus and insert a step, we can bring up the profile pane for just this week's worth of data. There are no nulls in the information field, and if we insert another step to compare, all the delimiters look the same as the other weeks. There must be something else going on. Ah, wait. It looks like this field is called Info in one week and Information in another. Let's go into the union, and sure enough, we can use these colored bars to identify that the information columns are mismatched. We'll drag information onto info to merge them. And now if we go back into the combined cleaning step, we see those nulls are gone from author and title. For more information on unions, check out the video on the union step. However, there's still some odd bars showing in the profile pane. There are some null prices and some blanks for ISBN. If we click onto either of these bars, we see that it's just trade paperback fiction from the week of the 21st. Let's go back and look at that data. We'll insert a step and click Trade Paperback Fiction. In the data grid, we can see just these values, almost like a temporary filter. And it looks like there's a comma instead of a pipe between the price and ISBN. Let's fix this with a quick calculation. Because we made this change upstream in the flow before the union and cleaning step, when we go back to the later clean step, the change is carried through and we have the appropriate data in place. The Profile Pane shows some good-looking data. Thank you for watching this video on the Profile Pane and Tableau Prep. We invite you to continue with the free training videos to learn more about using Tableau.